video of you singing with Kid Creole and the Coconuts. And I got your phone number and called you up. And do you remember what happened then?
I was sitting in my bedroom on 6th Street, right across from the old Fillmore. And you call me and you say, "Hi, my name's Alan. I'm a director from Hollywood and I'm doing a film about the Fillmore East." And I went, "What? Yeah, who is this?" Because it's right out my bedroom. Yeah, right.
It's right out your window.
So I hung up. And then you called me back. I said, "No, this is real." And I'm like, "Okay." And I kind of started believing you a little bit more. But
right.
You said, "Well, we'll FedEx you a script." And I went, "Okay." But you know, originally you wanted me for the choreography.
Yeah.
And then you said, "Oh, I think I have a part for you too." So then maybe the two going together, that would be really good. And
yeah.
do you have an agent? I went, "Oh, yeah, sure. let me call you right back. I don't have the number in front of me." And I'm like, "Agent? Shit." So I called a friend of mine who knew David Gersh from the Gersh Agency.
Ah.
And so he pretended he was my agent. And I called you back and said, "Yeah, Gersh Agency." And you're like, "Gersh Agency?
Yeah.
Whoa."
And they specialized in young actresses. They gave everyone their break. They had a great way of finding people. So right away we're going, oh, this is going to be a terrible negotiation.
No.
So you said yes.
Yeah, so I said yes, and I had to go up to his office to fill out a contract.
Right.
And then when he said the amount of money, I was like, I went out of his office, I was going to take the subway home, and I go in a phone booth because I call my friend and ask him, "Oh my God, how many zeros is that?" Because I didn't know if it was 2 zeros or 3 zeros. And he told me, and I was like ecstatic. And then I told you I had to bring my friend with because now that I'm going to do the role
right.
and the choreography, I need an assistant. So you said, okay.
But the thing was, you said, "I got to bring a friend." And I said, "Okay, what's your friend's name?" And you said...
Susie Sidewinder.
Which was not the kind of name I expected over the phone, okay?
Yeah.
So we got a Laura Eastside and a Susie Sidewinder.
Yeah, they used to call us Eastside Winder.
Okay. I said to you, "Do you have any songs that you sing?"
And I went, okay. And my roommate Lenny had that song, but it was about a girl that went to a prom, and the lyrics were really not my style. And I thought the hook was so monotonous, but I was like, oh, whatever. So I brought it, and you guys loved it.
Yeah.
And then we had rewritten the lyrics on the plane. You said that I could hold your gun.
Right.
I wrote that.
Okay.
On the way there.
So you came out.
That was brilliant. The guy with the sign, "Get Crazies" in the airport, and we're like, whoa, this is so cool. And then we get taken to the Wiltern Theater, which was like Emerald City. You know, big, green, sparkly building. And it was our first time in LA. And then we were put at the Tropicana Hotel.
Oh my God.
Which was
And
really
you knew
cool.
everyone in
And
Tropicana.
I ran into all these people we knew.
The Tropicana was where all the punk bands stayed and the low rent bands stayed. And it was a scene.
Oh my God, the pool was incredible.
Yeah.
And then Duke's or whatever the place.
Duke's coffee shop was nearby. Yeah.
Right. As soon as Sidewinder and I get to the Tropicana, we check in. We have our door wide open. We're on the pool, and we're talking to a friend of ours, Ed Steinberg, and we're looking out there. And I went, "Oh my God, we see this girl dipping her baby in the pool, and on the back of her butt is a picture of Nina Hagen." And she turns around. It was Nina Hagen, and we were like, "Oh my God, Ed, there's Nina Hagen." He goes, "Well, put her on the phone." And he was good friends with her. And so he said, "Oh, those are the Rockaholic girls from New York," meaning me and Susie. They sing background. And so she asked us to do her gig that night at the Whiskey.
Oh.
So we jumped on stage and sang New York, New York, and a couple of her songs.
Yeah, you got really tossed into it, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We didn't miss a beat. We were going to take advantage of everything that happened. I mean, all the way out here, Sidewinder and I sang the Laverne and Shirley song, you know? Give us any chance, we'll take it. Give us any rule, we'll break it.
Oh.
We're going to make our dreams come true. Yeah, you were our Hollywood ticket, Alan. We took the bus.
You took the bus to work?
We loved it.
5 a.m. call.
So we went to the production office, and the first thing the secretary, you guys were in the office, you and the producers, and the door was shut. And he said, "Oh, well, they'll be out in a second. And do you have a headshot?" And we're like, "Oh, headshot." And we're like, "Shit." And so we put our faces on the Xerox machine, and we closed the thing, and then we went here. And then you guys were locked in the office and couldn't get out. And we're waiting and waiting, and the secretaries are trying to find the key. And anyway, so Susie goes, "All right, stand back. And she goes, boom, and kicks the door, and it goes, but it stops like 4 inches in, and out from behind it, we didn't know who it was yet, because we never met you.
Yeah.
But it was the producer with a big gash in his head, and blood was running down his face. And I was like, oh my God, we're going back to New York. We're so fired.
Right.
And then we made him a card. He went to get stitches, and you were looking at hearing our song and looking at our lyrics and stuff like that. And he came back from the hospital with stitches, and we had made him a card with nail polish because that's all we had.
Yeah.
And it said, I don't know, like, roses are blue, violets are red. Boy, are we glad that you're not dead. And he liked that. So.
Yeah.
So we stayed in the film.
What do you remember about the shoot?
Oh man, so much fun.
Not a bad. Were you involved in the casting, or I already cast them?
No, yeah.
I cast them, so you had to see if they could sing and dance. I want you to know the other Nada girls were scared of you at first.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Nah.
And everyone else thought, they are so hip.
Yeah, we were just kind of. We had this gang called Rocker Size. It was kind of a gang / acrobatic dance troupe. We used to play in between bands in New York, and it was kind of hip hop, kind of rock. But we were tough. You know, you have to be in New York to do this kind of gigs and sing, but go in, jump on spring shoes and do flips in between punk rock bands. You know, it's like whatever. But so we had this real like crack the whip kind of, let's train. You know,
right.
And I was a gymnastics coach, so.
Oh.
And Sidewinder was like, I was the good cop and she was the bad cop.
So you and Sidewinder whipped everyone into shape.
We had a work ethic, and
Yeah.
they were kind of like, whoa. I think they thought they were extras. And
They did it first, and then when they had to go get their union cards, they were all shocked that they were actually being paid.
Yeah.
And they had a great time, and they said you worked them really hard, but they had such fun.
Oh, yeah. We had to become a girl gang. We had to become a real band, you know?
They had been in a couple of small bands and stuff.
Oh, no. They were all players.
Yeah.
They were all players. They were real singers. They were real.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with that, and that made it so much easier and so much more fun, because, you're going to give me an extra, and then what are we going to...
Yeah.
Come on, you got to, like, pretend you know how to play the song. You remember I couldn't do that scream?
Uh-huh.
Because I was so hoarse, and I never could scream like a girl anyway. I was just scream like an old cop. And so Sidewinder yanked my ponytail, and that's what you got.
Oh, okay. And Lee, how'd you get along with Lee? Bing?
Oh, he's great. Had he already been on Saturday Night Live and busted
Nothing.
up a set?
No.
Ooh.
That was his first job, and then...
He was in Flashdance, wasn't he? Yeah.
Later on, yeah. And then I cast him on Fame, and he was on Fame.
Wow.
And he sang The Impossible Dream on Fame.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
I think he was a natural actor, too,
Yeah.
actually. I think he was really good.
Yeah.
Alan, you know how everybody's like, what's your first line in your first movie ever? Mine was when I walk backstage and they go, you have your pass? And I look down at Dan Frischman and I go, your fly's open, because it really was.
Oh.
So I thought, he's going to take this over because the actor's fly's open. So I go, your fly's open. And he looks down and I go like this, pass my ass. And I knock his hat off and I walk in and you go, that's great. Okay, let's move on. And I'm like, but his fly was open. And so my first line ever in a movie is your
That's
fly's
right,
open.
flies open.
Yeah,
It looked
right
very purposeful.
You just let us kind of improv that stuff too.
All that
which was
stuff,
fun.
because what I wanted was a ton of personality. So we were in that theater for 37 days.
Yeah.
And people didn't leave on Friday nights. They hung out in the parking lot. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Boombox, Korean barbecue, lots of beer.
That was fun.
And no one would leave no matter how late we shot.
That was fun.
Remember the first AD?
Cliff? Was he the coolest or what? Didn't he shoot a gun off or something?
Yeah.
To get everybody riled up? Oh, he was crazy, that one.
Yeah.
I was like, this old guy. And then he was like, he was so good. You were so funny doing that crowd surfing.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did that. We were like, this director is so cool. I can't even believe you did that.
Oh, yeah, and I jumped from the balcony.
You actually jumped from the balcony.
You can see me in the movie.
Oh, no, I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, and actually, when I did the color correct this time, I lightened my shots so you could see me better.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Put a little power window
And
around
whose
me.
idea was it to do the scorecards? That was brilliant.
Once we saw them diving like that, and actually like anything else in the movie, we took it one step too far.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, Susie Sidewinder was one of the judges with the flip cards, too.
Was she?
Yeah, she's in the blue dress.
Yeah, I have no idea what she
No,
looks
that
like.
other hairdo,
Yeah.
she wanted that because she could fit her can of beer and a pack of smokes in there.
Really?
Yeah, she would like lift it up and then put her beer and her smokes in there and fold it back down.
So you have said that, like, you thought all movies were going to be like that.
I did. I thought all movies were that fun and that crazy and that nuts and fast paced and all those things happen. And boy, was I wrong.
Because you later went on to do choreography.
I kept doing choreography, yeah.
Well, now what did we work together on? The Elvis Costello video?
Yeah, and the Bette Midler.
Bette Midler, Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger.
And did you do Shake, Rattle, and Rock?
I did Shake, Rattle, and Rock. And a Fame, I think.
Yeah, and you play saxophone in the Elvis Costello one.
Yeah, because the sax player didn't show up.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah. And you know the coincidence? My girlfriend Sharon, her boyfriend played sax on that track.
Really?
Yes. And he taught me the fingering and stuff.
Sharon, whose father owned
The Village Gate.
Village Gate.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sharon DeLugoff.
And
Isn't that
so
weird?
your roommate, Lenny, wrote
Lenny.
Not Gonna Take It No More.
Yeah.
And by coincidence was the drummer in the Mick Jagger video.
Right.
And then later went on tour with Lou Reed.
And he was in all those TV parties at Glen O'Brien.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, he was the house drummer in that. He's really credited kind of for bringing Fab Five Freddy downtown.
That's right. He
and
did something for
introducing to that
Wild
whole-
Style, for the Wild Style
Right.
movie. Yeah.
And Beat Street.
So what sticks out in your mind? What are the things that come back to you when you think about the shoot?
Watching you and realizing how hard it was to direct. And because I always liked the idea of being behind the scenes, like being a choreographer. When you choreograph, you kind of get to direct your little piece there. And I was like, to have this on the big, the level in which you were doing it on, I learned a lot. Watching it also scared the crap out of me. I was like, I don't know if I could do this.
Right.
It's exhausting. And all the people you had to deal with and all the egos and all the crazies. It was a fast-paced.
Oh, it was really fast.
And there were so many people to wardrobe to make up.
So the first week of shooting is done, right? And I invite you and Sidewinder out to my house in the valley and tell them what you saw when you got there.
Well, first of all, you had pasta. Your wife and you made pasta fresh, and you were hanging it on coat hangers all over the kitchen. I was like, what's going on? I never saw fresh pasta like that before. And I was like, wow. And then you had this giant bud of weed.
That's a prop in the movie.
Right. That was
Captain
a prop in
Claus
the movie.
bud.
And you were like, I'm dying to try this. So Susie's like, let's roll one up. So we roll one up.
And at that time, we were negotiating with Malcolm.
Right, but you didn't have him yet.
And so we watched Clockwork Orange.
We watched Clockwork Orange, which I had never seen, and you two knew it by heart, but I had never seen it. And you were like, oh, you got to see it. So I get completely stoned. I'm watching Clockwork Orange. I'm like, whoa. And then you get the phone call that Malcolm will do the film. And we're like, yay. And I'm like, that guy? Okay. I was like, whoa. You know, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What a nice guy.
Wait a minute. And one of you was running across the house and you slipped and did like a header.
What?
I think it was Susie.
Sounds like Susie.
Yeah. So you saw the movie when it came out.
Oh God, yeah. You sent us to a premiere in New York, to a premiere in Chicago.
Oh.
And we even got a limousine in New York.
Wow.
And yeah, and Sidewinder and I got a bottle of, Corbel or some kind of champagne for $6. And we get in there and we told the limousine driver to drive us around the neighborhood so we can yell out to all our friends first. But anyway, we shot the champagne cork out the window and hit a bum in the head, which was really wrong. I thought that was not cool. But yeah, we went to the premiere.
Was there anybody at the premiere?
Yeah, it was packed.
Really?
Yeah, every friend in our world. No, it was good. The one in Chicago was good. My family, I'm from Chicago, so my family came to that. And I kind of come in the movie later, so they're like, where are you? Italians. They're like, when are you going to show up in the movie? I'm like, I'm coming. And then they were thrilled.
And then the movie disappears.
And there it went. And then remember, you flew me back to LA to record that other song for the soundtrack. You Can't Make Me.
Yes.
Was that in Motown?
It was on a Motown label then.
And did any big shots come in while I was doing that, or did I dream that?
You dreamed that. The label folded after 4 records. Yeah.
And then, whoever had the car company that did the cars for Get Crazy, they gave me that in automobile.
Really?
And then I never got it.
The orange one?
Yes. Red, orange, whatever it was. Yeah. And I drove it around Hollywood a couple times.
Oh.
And everybody's pointing and going, wow. I guess I was promoting the movie. I don't know why I was doing it. But, and then they were supposed to give me it. But I never got it.
Well, that would be typical of the people who ran that company. A lot of promises. What'd you think when you saw it recently?
I love it. It's like a nonstop party. Everybody should watch it every New Year's. I don't know any movie that's better than that one for New Year's Eve.
And It was New Year's Eve for 37 days in that theater.
I know. I even had a birthday during that time. And you know what? It was the same day as a producer, and he had to share the cake with me. Oh, was he pissed?
Real? Oh, one of the big Mucky Muck producers.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And it was my birthday too, so they just wrote my name on it, like after his, and
And you
Lori.
know-
And he was so mad, man. I was like,
Just to say that. So, he's the big producer, right?
yeah.
You are the bad girl from the Lower East Side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess which one of you ended up in jail? Not you.
Oh, I didn't. Not that time.
I really wanted to get all of you back
really good.
together and get that spirit back together on screen.
Aww.
And show that, whatever age you are, you
Yeah.
can still rock it.